Hello everybody. Now, this is the first video on my channel. It's a new channel I'm creating. My name's Edward. I've been playing golf a lot recently, and it is a big dream of mine to go to America and to play college level Division 1 golf, hopefully. So this is going to be sort of my channel and everything I do towards that and how I succeed. So at the moment, I'm going to be talking you through what is in my golf bag. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom of the bag. Obviously, we've got a SM6 Vokey lob wedge. This is a 60 degree. It's got 4 bounce, so you know it sits quite steep. However, it is a lovely club, phenomenal. But the wedge, it's got a Dynamic Gold S300, and obviously we've got to have a Golf Pride on there. It's a phenomenal club. Can't rave enough about it. You know, I've only had it for a couple of months, but it's doing wonders for me. You know, it's not spinny enough for my liking if I'm going to be going over to America, because I know there are a lot of firmer greens compared to in the UK. Our greens are a lot softer, so balls sort of like tend to pitch more and dig in a lot more, which is different to America. So I will be looking to upgrade my wedges soon. However, at the moment, for the type of golf that I'm playing, it is absolutely sublime. Okay, on to my next wedge. It is a Cleveland 54 degree. Now this is actually one of my dad's old clubs. It's a phenomenal club as well. You know, it's I'm not exactly sure how much bounce it has got, but you know, it served me well. It's a brilliant approach club from sort of that 110 to like 100 yard sort of range. It's phenomenal. Again, it's got an S300 Dynamic Gold stiff shaft, and it's got a Golf Pride grip on, the same Golf Pride, and I can't talk enough about it. It's a phenomenal club. It's just one of those ones that you know, it's quite old, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is spot on. In comparison to the SM6 60 degree I've got, it's a bit more spinning because you can't really see in here, but the grooves are a bit deeper, so they just sort of push that moisture off just a touch more and allows that ball to sort of dig more. So yes, an absolutely phenomenal club. Can't speak enough about it. Okay, onto the iron set. Now I've only had these irons for about 2 or 3 months, you know, but we have got some Titleist 714 CBs. Now these clubs are phenomenal. As someone that this is my first ever set of proper blades. Well, they're not blades, but you know, it's something that's not really forgiving. They're a perfect club. They're lovely to hit, you know, and I genuinely can't rave enough about them. They are absolutely phenomenal. It's a standard length. I am looking to get something a bit longer because I'm knocking on the door of 6 foot, so I will need something a bit longer, so I do lose a bit of distance with them. However, you know, I'm not complaining at all. We've got an Elevate stiff shaft, 115 grams, which is absolutely perfect for me. The weight, you know, and they're not too forgiving, so you can sort of control the ball flight a lot more with them. I can sort of control what type of shots I want to play, as opposed to something that's a bit chunkier and a bit thicker, where you can't really do that as much, but they're not too bladey at the moment. I'm looking, you know, maybe in the next couple of months to move on to something even bladier than this, just to give me a bit more control, a bit more feel. But I absolutely can't rave enough about them. They're lovely clubs. I've got pitching wedge through to a 4-iron. Now the 4-iron, I won't say I struggle a bit with, because it's they are quite easy clubs to hit. However, it's one of those ones that doesn't give you ultimate forgiveness in the long irons. So I'm looking to potentially move towards a combo set, which I have not been advised to do by everyone around me. However, I just feel like for my personal type of golf, just having that extra forgiveness in the longer irons would show some benefit, and I can always move my longer irons to blades in the future. But yeah, the 4-iron, it's a beautiful club. They're all lovely. But again, you know, fantastic clubs. Can't rave enough about them. Now, onto my putter. Now again, unlike the head cover says, I've got, now this is probably the most controversial thing in my bag. I've got a Yes putter. Now I used to have a putter that Matt Fitzpatrick had. I used to have one of his old putters, and it was a Yes putter. I don't exactly remember which Yes putter it was, but it was absolutely phenomenal. Really, really liked it. Again, we've got a Tour Sensor Golf Pride grip on it that I've recently acquired, and you know, it's just one of them things where putting is quite a lot about feeling as opposed to anything else. It's a lot about like how you feel you're putting with the ball, and this is one of those putters where I just feel like I can't miss from within 6 feet with. You know, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's got quite a large little sweet spot here on the face. So if you miss that, it's sort of one of those ones where, you know, it could go either way. It could be, you could push it, you could pull it a bit, but it's a club that I'm so comfortable with. I've had it in my bag for quite a while. You know, there's a lot of people out there who will go and spend £300 or £400 on like a Scotty Cameron, or your expensive flagship putters, but you know, it just works for me. I'm a massive fan. It is a Yes Gina, I believe. You know, absolutely phenomenal club. I've not got a bad thing to say about it. Sort of my putts, it just feels like I can't miss with. Essentially, it's an absolutely phenomenal putter. Plus, it's quite a budget friendly club. So, people out there who are just getting into golf, you know, it's definitely a brand to look at getting a putter from, because I really like it, and the nice, reliable, well-built putters. Okay, now we're going to move on to some woods. It's a bit unconventional, but I haven't got a hybrid. I haven't got like a 7 wood, anything like that. So it goes straight up to a 3 wood. Now, contrary to the head cover, I don't actually have a Stealth 2 3 wood. I've got this M4 3 wood. It's a bit old. Again, used to be one of my dad's clubs, but it is absolutely phenomenal. It's got an Atmos 6S shaft, stiff shaft, but it's one of my favourite clubs in the bag. It depends on the hole, but I'm not a massive driver off the tee type person. I don't tend to use my driver as much as others. I don't mind, you know, going down with a knockdown 3 wood. You know, if I can keep it straighter, I can give myself a better positioning. I don't mind playing shots like that. I'm quite a conservative golfer, I would say. But the 3 wood, it's absolutely phenomenal. You know, I can't seem to miss the middle out of it. It's a phenomenal club. Again, it's got a nice Golf Pride grip on. You know, beautiful club, absolutely phenomenal. Especially it's a club that I like to hit off the deck quite a lot as well. You know, it's a club that sort of allows the ball to fly out of the rough a bit better than some of the other 3 woods I've had. Like I've had a couple of Mizuno 3 woods, but this is absolutely phenomenal. And you know, even though it's older, it's not too worn, so it doesn't come off the face too hot. But yeah, it's just an absolute brilliant club for me, and yeah, I just really like it. Play really comfortable golf with it. Now, onto the thing everyone will be most excited to see. Wrapped inside my little turkey head cover is genuinely a beautiful club of mine. I've got Stealth 2, just a normal Stealth 2, not a plus, not a high draw. It's just a normal Stealth 2. 9 degrees of loft on it. I've got it set to 10.5 degrees. Now there'll be a lot of sort of questions about why I went for the 9 degree over the 10.5 and just crank the loft up. Now for me personally, it's one of those clubs where it's quite when in my driver swing, I usually leave the face open quite a bit. So by just being able to crank that loft up, it shuts the face. So it's a lot more forgiving for me. And that's one of the reasons I don't really like to hit my driver off the tee as much. as I would say hit my 3-wood, because I can usually keep my 3-wood tighter. So but yeah, that's why I went for the 9° over the 10.5, because I can crank the loft up and it shuts the club face. For the shaft, we've got the Hazardous 6.0 low spin 60° stiff shaft. It's a phenomenal shaft. Acquired it off Facebook Marketplace, but yeah, it's never let me down. It's a phenomenal shaft. And we've got a red and black Golf Pride to fit with the theme of the Stealth driver. But all in all, my driver is it's a club that I feel I'm very confident with on a wider hole. But for them like sort of tight par 4s, you know, maybe some tight par 5s, it's a club that I wouldn't necessarily hit off the tee, which is something in my own golf game that I need to work on, so I can sort of be able to play those 600-yard longer par 5s as I move towards sort of bigger and longer courses and harder courses. It's one of those clubs that I feel like I should be able to use. So, you know, it's got a lot of work left in it, the driver. It's not as dialed as I would like it to be. However, you know, there's a lot of things up and coming with the driver that I'm going to get better at. Okay, now for balls. So, you know, I've been a very big tester of different balls. You know, I've used Pro V's, Chrome Softs, TP5, TP5X, Pro V1Xs, but I've sort of settled on a choice between these two balls, you know, TP5X or TP5s. Now it's quite an unusual thing for myself, for golfers to sort of swap between two different balls. Most golfers have a ball and stick to it. However, for me, it sort of depends where I play and what ball I use. So for the type of golf at the moment, especially, it's winter golf in the UK, it's not been the best weather. For that type of golf, you know, your sort of greens are a lot softer, your fairways are a bit damper. So, you know, to use sort of a softer ball you sort of put yourself in like vulnerable positions of where you could pitch it. Say if you pitched it on a green about 10 feet from a flag and you have too much spin on it, then it sort of stops it dead, as opposed to letting it run for a bit on a green. So for that reason, TP5s I would use if the greens were doing the opposite, where they were, you know, sort of harder and running a bit. Then I could get the spin and I could get them to stop whenever I needed to. But at the moment, specifically for winter golf, I would have to go with a TP5X. These are the Pix ones, which are absolutely awful for winter golf, and especially autumn golf, or fall golf as you Americans would call it, because I don't know if you've ever, I don't know if you can see the balls here, but they've got orange and sort of black triangles on the ball, so they are a nightmare to find in the leaves. However, just don't hit them in the leaves. That's what I try to do, and I say it usually works, but yeah, it's one of those ones where it just depends where I play and what the greens are like and what the weather's been like for what balls I'd use. But yeah, so those are the balls that I use. So I'd like to thank you for watching my first YouTube video on this account. If you wanted to sort of be up to date with how my golf game gets on, and sort of the drills that I do and routines that I do to improve, please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment if you want to see anything specific, or if you have got any questions about me. You know, this is a long road to get where I want to get. It's a hard road. It's not for everybody, but it is the graft and the work that I would like to put in to get where I want to be. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next video.